The thought that I have is about the concept of genderqueer. There's been a certain amount of speak over that in the last couple of days over the YouTubes, and I just wanted to add in my 2 cents. The first thing that I have to say is I have to equate the notion of genderqueer with the same kind of thing as I experienced when I was growing up in the punk rock era. And within the punk rock era, it certainly was necessary to show oneself, to be strong enough to show a face that was different to those people around you, to annoy them even. Sometimes this is done carelessly, uncaringly, but basically it was one of those things that was necessary to do in order to show the validity of what you were doing. Fast forward, a decade, 2 decades, and you see genderqueer. Our society has evolved. People can be different, much more different than they could have been 2 decades ago. There are many within the genderqueer community who are coming into their own, who want to piss people off so they can be who they are. And well, that's okay too. Genderqueer is more than that. There are opportunities. There's the future of humanity that's possible here. I'm certain of that. As I approach my own thought of transition, what the hell am I going to do? What's a 40-something-year-old male-bodied girl going to do? Do I want to take the Benjamin approach? Do I want to fit nicely into what remains of a nice housewife life? To prostrate myself in front of those who would judge me, for being so strong as to relieve myself of my male power so I can be a good little housewife. Or worse, a housewife wannabe. Is that what I want to be? No. No. I always thought that if I had been born a woman that I would be stronger, that I could be fighting for the rights that everybody should have. I noticed that there's a lot of talk about privilege, there's a lot of talk about giving up advantage, there's a lot of talk about giving up one's status, especially if you are white and male. I have a white male body. I've heard it said, what I say goes. Well, that's not exactly fair. It only goes so far. The notion of genderqueer is interesting. It's an evolving concept. I see it as the future of humanity, where everybody can play their part as they wish to. It's okay to. No stigma. Nothing wrong with it. Be yourself. Be true. Be honest. That's what I want to be. Yeah, I wish I were born a girl. If I were born a girl, I'd be a woman. If I were a woman now, I don't think that I have any issues with what I am. I think I'd be a strong advocate for what was right. I think that I would be natural and and a good ally. As it is, I'm cast in the minds of most people in our society as some sort of freak. Being freakish works against oneself. I mean, you want to run away from it. Maybe run to the Benjamin standards. Maybe that's where you want to go. Me, I don't know where I'm heading. But I think the train that I'm heading to wherever I'm going stops at a couple of genderqueer stations first. And I'm almost certain that the civilization I will find at those places offers an opportunity for myself and us all. There is the thought that goes along with that, a thought contained within literature and a lot of popular video. I take the idea of the cyborg as described in that less than great show Star Trek, the Borgs. And I have always thought that was a great society. There everybody shared everything, and to the outside it looked ugly because it was scary. They had immense power. And it's quite possible that each individual within that matrix had the possibility for infinite life and infinite possibility of things, no matter what they manifested themselves in the rote requirements that society gave them. Of course, it might have been a living hell. I mean, I don't know. But I think there's the possibility that within sharing, within the extra connectivity that we all have right now, that we can find ourselves, through connection, extra senses of self that at the same time offer extra possibilities of connection back to others and confirmations of ourselves. I've lived outside for so long, I've tried to become some sort of, meat puppet that belonged, with some hand stuck up my ass and moving my mouth in words that I thought my hand should make my mouth say. I don't think that in a combined society where I can have features, masculine and feminine, where I can exist as me, that anybody's hand's going to be up my ass. I don't know where the world is going. I just see that there are extra opportunities that are being offered everywhere. And I may end up being a housewifey sort. Maybe that's for me. I don't think so. I think there's a whole new world dawning right now that I and so many others can be part of, that because it has lost its fetters, can combine those strands that used to bind to build a much stronger society, to give freedom not just to our community, but to everybody in this world. I mean, we live in a very modern time where extremism, Baroque, not even Baroque, medieval extremism is the Vogue. And it is piloting rocket launchers and GPS devices and explosions. It is singling out people with precision for their nonconformities. As far as I'm concerned, the only nonconformity is conformity. And I want to fit in. I want to pass. I want to be a girl. But I do not wish to be a slave to these thoughts. Okay, just a few thoughts. Thanks a lot.